How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. It's always a nice day when you show up, that's for sure, and I'm glad you're here today. It's a beautiful day at the lake today. It was cold this morning, but -8, and it's middle of the afternoon now. It's around probably 2 or 3 degrees, so turned into a nice day. Anyways, a couple of quick updates for you. First of all, Nanny. Nanny had a bad week last week, but she's doing much better this week, and we're happy about that for sure. So all those people out there who are praying for her and offering your best wishes and your thoughts, it sure is very much appreciated. And when Nanny reads the comments, she really enjoys seeing those. You know, they perk her up. So thanks a lot for doing that. And she is getting a little bit better, a little bit each day. So that's good to see now. An update now on the cleanup after Fiona. Fiona went through here the tail end of September. Here it is the middle of November, and I'm ashamed to say I don't have a whole lot of cleanup done. I went at it pretty good there first off, but then I got it slowed down. But it's not all my fault. Lots of other things going on. But really, I should be getting at it. There's lots of really nice days there I could have been burning, but I wasn't burning because I've ordered myself a new tool to help with the cleanup. And when that tool arrived, it was damaged, so I had to send it back. So when I get that new tool, then I'll start to do some more cleanup and keep you abreast of that. And also give a video about what this new tool is and how I intend to use it. So anyway, that's the story on the cleanup. It's kind of stalled right now. And you know, I'm kind of halfway lazy too, or I'd have been out doing a little bit more than what I'm doing. So enough about that. What the video is about today, though, is about my tractor, my Massey Ferguson GC2300. It's a great little tractor, and I'm getting it geared up for winter. So we just want to take a look at the tractor quick, show you some of the things I'm going to do or planning on do to get ready for winter time with my tractor. So, first off the bat, the bucket is still on the tractor. So I'm going to remove the bucket completely because I put a plow on the front of the tractor. So my bucket will come off. And when I take the bucket off, there's a good chance then to do maintenance on the bucket. But anyway, that's what's going on in the front. A plow goes on the front that I have a hydraulic lift and lower and a hydraulic angle cylinder for. So that's going to work good. And on the back, I have my quick hitch, so I'm going to put my snowblower on there, and I have the snowblower on the back. But I don't usually put my snowblower on the back of the tractor until after I get a good base of snow down in the lane, because the snowblower likes to pick up rocks. The snowblower, first of all, it's a great attachment. It moves a lot of snow in a hurry, especially if you know a place to put the snow. You know, the snowblower will blow it over banks. It's really good that way of evacuating the snow from a kind of an enclosed area. Whereas when you're plowing with the blade, you push it into a snowbank. Well, the snowbank keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and next thing you know, your plowed area gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So the snow blower is great for getting the snow from your area, moving it away. But the snowblower is not made for scraping. First of all, it's on the 3-point hitch at the back. The 3-point hitch is no down pressure, so it's just the weight of the attachment that lowers it down into the snow. You can adjust the attack angle of the snowblower so that it will dig in more, or tilt it back so that it won't dig in so much. But it's really not meant for scraping down, like to grade. But nevertheless, having said that, it's still, when you're like all my lane here and my landing is all gravel, when you're plowing along that, if it doesn't have a good snow base, it will dig in here and there in places and pick up rocks, and it's not good to pick up rocks. First of all, I don't want to blow all the gravel out of my lane. Secondly, the gravel's not good on the machine, on the attachment on the snowblower itself. So I like to get a good solid base of snow down, not necessarily ice, but a good packed solid base of snow, so I can set the snowblower on top of it and just plow right over the top of the snow and just pick up snow and blow that away, not the gravel. Now, one other thing that I did for my tractor already is I put the chains on it. You see the front chains are on and the back chains are on. The front chains, this will probably be the last season for the front chains. I find when I have the blade on the front, I normally, not always, but I normally have the blade angled to the left or the right when you're plowing. And especially with the snowblower on the back of the tractor, it makes the tractor rear end heavy, so not so much weight in the front. So when you're plowing with the blade at an angle, it tends to force the tractor away from the way your blade's angled. In other words, if you're angled to the right, it'll push the tractor to the left. So as you're driving down the road or the lane or whatever you're plowing, I always, like if I'm angled to the right, like I say, I'll be turning to the right. So these front wheels are always turned, and they spin a lot. So you'll see here on the chains, these used to be V-bar chains. There's a good example there of what a kind of a halfway new V-bar looked like. But these are the actual working part of the chain, and you see the V-bars are wore right off. So like I say, that'll probably be the last year for those chains. But on the back, I've got these babies here. These chains, I got these from Tire Chains Online. It's an American company from North Carolina, but they shipped direct here to my camp in Canada, and it took about 4 days to get these chains delivered. I got these chains, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, and they're cork chains or spike chains or whatever you want to call them. I call them cork, but nice big. They're modeled after the trig chains, and they use trig chains for years and years and years in the woods. So I got those on the back, and I'll tell you what, like I say, this is going to be, I think, the 3rd winter for them, and there's just nothing that stops them. They'll dig into ice, they'll dig into snow, they'll dig into mud, they'll dig into gravel, wet gravel, dry gravel, doesn't matter what, and they just won't give up until they makes the tractor move. And they wear really, really well. Like they almost look brand new still. So those are just terrific chains. And when I contacted the company, I said I need a set of chains for my tractor. Gave them the tire size, and they told me what size I needed. But when the chain showed up, really the only thing that's critical, I think, when you're ordering tire chains, well, the length is kind of critical, but it's the cross width. If you get them too wide, then the chain will be way down to the too low in your wheel, and it will end up interfering with the rear axle. So you want to make sure that when you order them, you order a good width of chain. Now my tires were 26 12s, I think. I should remember that because, but anyway, whatever they were, I made sure that the width was correct. Now when these chains come in, these were sized by the company. They were too long. I had to cut, I think, 6 links off it. I'm not sure, but I had to cut them a little bit shorter. But that's okay because they go on there good and they fit good. I'll show you on this side because it's easier to see. These center, the way the center of the chain crosses over, it's called an X pattern. They have these loops, and you pass the chain through the loop, bring it back down to the side here and fasten it off. So you can, if the chain is too long, like I say, that's an issue. But if it's, if it's too short, you can get away with it a little bit, but having them too long is better. But you can loop the chain through there and tighten them up and tension them good. And then they have these chain fasteners here, and they work just excellent. You pass that through the link here, fold it over, gives you some good mechanical leverage here to get the chains good and tight. And then you pass it in this keeper link here. And then I just made these chain tensioners. Just formed a loop of steel here, had some old springs off a bed, tied them on there, and they keep the chains tight. A lot of people say deflate your tire, put the chain on and then reinflate it. But my rear wheels are loaded, so I can't really deflate them too much. So I have windshield washer fluid in the tires, and I'll leave a link in the video below where I put the windshield washer fluid in there. But you can't deflate these very much, so I sort of have to put the chain on when the tire is at its regular pressure and diameter. So I get the chains on as tight as I can with these, and there's a chain fastener on the inside, the same as this. So I link those up as tight as I can, and then put these chain tighteners or binders, whatever you want to call them, just on the outside of the tire, and that keeps the chain tight. The same with these front chains. Those are just springs off an old couch, I think, or bed spring or something. So I just cross those over there just to keep the chains tight. So it's good to have your chains kind of tight. You don't want them singing tight, but you don't want them so loose that they fall down between the ribs and the tire and then don't cause you any, give you any traction. So And like the tractor doesn't travel at high speed, so having the chains a little on the loose side is not a mortal sin. All right, one other thing I want to mention here is this little attachment I have right here. Now, I spoke about this attachment many times before, and I'll put a link down below to the video about this attachment. And what that is, that's just a little metal rod, 3/16 in diameter, I think it is. It goes down here and hooks to one of the lift arms of the 3-point hitch. It comes up here through this bracket, and then I have, or I did have, it's kind of getting kind of wore out now, but on here just a scale with different divisions on it. You can see that. And because this tractor, like I think most subcompact tractors are like this, you can't continually reset the 3-point to a specific height level. Lots of the bigger tractors, the compacts and like the utility tractors and bigger ones, you can set the draft where you want it to be, and every time you lower the 3-point, it'll go there and stop. Not the case with the subcompacts. They're either up, or you can stop the 3-point anywhere you want on its descent, but there's no repeatability to that. So what I did was I put this marker on here, this depth adjustment marker, so like when I'm especially now that I'm going to have the snowblower on for the winter, I'll set it, I don't know, set it on this mark right here, and if I find that that's a good mark for plowing, then when I'm plowing down the lane and I lift the snowblower, turn around at the end of the lane, when I'm coming back up, I can repeat that mark, set it back here. That way I can ensure that whatever is on the 3-point gets back to the same position each time. So I really find that height adjustment there helps out a lot, especially in subcompact tractors where you can't repeat the setting for the draft and the 3-point. So that's a really nice little ad I put on there. Another thing I'm looking forward to this year is my backup camera. Here it is here. At the end of last winter I installed that, but I really didn't get a chance to use it because it was well, middle of the spring before I finally got that camera set up. But I have that camera set up now so that when there's an attachment on the 3-point and I lower that down, and the monitor in the cab with this camera, I can see the working edges of that implement. So I'm hoping now that I can just sort of sit maybe kitty-cornered in the seat a little bit, keep an eye, physical eye, on the rear attachment, but mainly watch it in the monitor. But mainly watch it in my monitor up here to see what's going on. But whereas before I had the backup camera, when you're sitting in the seat here, I had to turn around, like it was very uncomfortable. I was twisted around like a corkscrew, trying to look out the back window. The back window in my cab is just a plastic window, so it used to steam up. It was hard to see sometimes. And I'm hoping now I'll be able to just sit, you know, maybe just kind of a quarter ways turned around, just every now and then glance at the implement, but mainly watch up here in the monitor to make sure that what's going on at the out back is what should be going on out back. So yeah, that's those are the biggest things I'm looking forward to this winter with using my tractor. Now hopefully not too much longer, I'm going to be putting the blade on the tractor, and I'll be putting I have a back blade. There's my back blade. I'll be putting the back blade on the tractor until I get this base of snow built up that I'm talking about. Now, if you notice, just want to talk about this back blade a little bit. I'm right directly in front of the attachment hitch, and if you notice on the right hand side here, there's not much of the blade showing, but on the left hand side, there's quite an amount protruding at the side. I do that on purpose because as I plow, my lane, especially in my lane here, it's steep on both sides. It's like a causeway almost, eh? So if I went off the lane, it's a pretty steep bank down into the ditch. So this way I can drive my tractor along the edge of the driveway, but the blade now being offset to the side like that will protrude over the edge of the lane and make sure that I plow the snow down off the lane into the ditch. So that's why that's offset. When I was looking for a rear blade, I wanted to get one that could be offset, and you see that right here. There's a big nut and bolt there, and there's one on the other side. You loosen those, and then it'll slide back and forth. With these, you can slide the blade back and forth. It's kind of a chore to adjust it, but it can be adjusted, and I like that. So yeah, I'll put the back blade on the tractor first, and I'll leave the back blade on the tractor until I get a chance to build up a nice snow base, or unless I'm getting a lot of snow. If I get a lot of snow, then I can't put the back blade on, because I find the back blade doesn't do a good job plowing like deep snow. It will, but you know, I prefer to do that with the snowblower. So then I'll get the snowblower and I'll put the snowblower on my quick hitch and go from there. Yeah, so that's a quick kind of overview of what I'm planning for the tractor for the winter. It's getting close, so we have to get the tractors ready. If you have a tractor, you know what I'm talking about. So hopefully I'll get it all geared up for winter and it'll never come out of the shed. That would be really nice, but I doubt that's going to happen. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and again, thanks very, very much for your kind thoughts and prayers for Nanny. It is really, really appreciated, and she wouldn't be as well as she is without your thoughts, prayers, wishes, and concern. So thanks for that. Take it easy, everyone. Have a great week. Hey, we'll talk to you soon.